સ્કિટ જોયું અને મને લાગે છે કે એક વાત તો બાકી છે, ક્લિયર સિવિલ સર્વિસીસ, you get a very good match. Please, that is a show. Is it audible at the back? Clear or not? Right? Okay, all right. We have brought this roadshow to your city so that you have an idea of what civil services are and what SPIPA is. And as a career option, civil services is perhaps the best career option which today any youth on his own who wants to start by his own efforts can have. મને યાદ આવે છે કે અમે જ્યારે I have done 29 years in the IS. She did 13 years. I'm more vintage compared to her. And when we came, 86 batch, that's my batch in 86, again like her first attempt. Again like her, she was mentioning about the struggles in our time also. We used to record on the video cassettes, on the audio cassettes, and listen to it while even taking bath, while in the toilet, while going anywhere, the Walkmans and things like that, just to prepare it. And like Avantika, I also made it in the first attempt. I was also youngest in the batch, 22 and a half, when I got into the IS. The advantage of coming in young is that you stay lesser senile for a longer period of time, in the services. So you can actually contribute, perhaps, for a longer period of time. What does civil services basically offer you? There's a lot of confusion about it, about salary structure, about emoluments, etc. But I will tell you that no other service per se, if you start by your own self, unless you are a millionaire's son, you would not be sitting here probably. Even if you're sitting here and you want to be on your own, still, millionaire sons also come into the services. It's not like that. But otherwise, there's no other career which is better than this, because merely by clearing one exam, not putting in 1 and 2 years, you reach a position by a sudden jump in society which nothing else will offer you. કોઈ પણ તમે ધંધા પણ કરવા જાઓ, એમાં પણ બહુ વર્ષ લાગે છે. It takes you 15-20 years of struggle, and it's real hard struggle. And I'll give you an example. When our batch was coming from Delhi by Ashram Express, Gujarat, for the first time, અમે 4-5 લોકો હતા કુપામાં, આશ્રમ એક્સપ્રેસમાં, અને મારા સાથે એક બીજા કાકા હતા અમદાવાદના. And we started talking, so he was asking us, કઈ યુનિવર્સિટીથી IS મળે છે તમને? That's how the awareness levels were. So we tried to explain him what is IAS and all, and he said, income tax income tax inspector થઈ જાઓ છો તમે. So we had to tell him slightly better than that, or much better than that. So after some time, he was very impressed. You are MBA topper, full medalist, and looking for this kind of salary. Why don't you do a job in Delhi in my office at double the salary? He offered me a job in the train. એ મને કહે છું તમને પાછા જવાની ટિકિટ બી કઢાઈ આપું, તમે અમારે રિટર્ન થઈ જાઓ, અને શું કામ વતન છોડીને આવો છો આટલા દૂર તમે, ગુજરાત, દિલ્હીથી, અને દિલ્હીમાં મારી ઓફિસ સંભાળો, મારા CEO થઈ જાઓ તમે, and you get this kind of salary, everything. He was really trying his hard 2 hours. He was trying, eating my head, but I did not succumb naturally. After 10 years, and I was Ahmedabad collector, 11 years after that. One day this guy came to me and he suddenly recognized, he said, after the bigger train, for 10 years you don't change much, people recognize you still. So I said, so then he said, what is the position of an IS officer or a collector? Because just to meet you, it has taken me 6 months because the previous fellow was not giving date, my NA permission was not getting cleared. And when I joined, I started meeting everybody. So he was very, his work was done like that. For him it was immense value. He told me, तुम्हारा एक decision थी, मैंने ₹2 crore ना profit था से, project में. With one signature of an IS officer, that's the power of the signature of an IS officer. Another example, when we were doing Gujarat recently as Principal Secretary Tourism, we had gone to Kutch. Some of you would have seen probably the run of Kutch. So I took Amitabh Bachchan there second time and we went. And we went, he likes to drive in a desert alone because there's no population and he enjoyed driving the car and all that. So we drove into a particular village, no Hamlet was there. And then the vehicle just stopped and he was wanting to stand out and watch the desert. So he stood up, meters hata pyare. So gamna log ko joine aa gaya pata about 20-30 ladies, they were almost falling to his feet. And he was very surprised what has happened. And then one of the ladies who could understand, speak a little Hindi, explained to him that because of this campaign, the entire economics and economy of that entire region has changed. Because the number of tourists have increased so tremendously. For thousands of years, not hundreds of years, people in that area used to only take out cattle, go elsewhere, or do some handicraft work, and they were living in abject poverty for hundreds of thousands of years. But within 1 or 2 years when this happened, the Ran Utsav became a big success. The tents which were there, the Ran Utsav tents, which are now selling at 10,000 rupees a night. So you have millionaires coming and staying there. When millionaires come and stay in Kutch, they buy expensive stuff. અને આ લોકોને ખબર પડે છે એ લોકો પણ ભેટ વધારે છે મહાબાવાળા પણ 2-3 લાખ રૂપિયા કમાઈ લે છે અઠવાડિયા માટે. So they all became rich. And one of the ladies said कि आपकी वजह से हमारी डॉटर जो हम पहले नखत्राना या ऐसे दासा साइड में शादी करते थे उसकी शादी आप राजकोट में कर पाए in a better town because our status in society has improved as a result of this difference which the campaign has made. Can any industrialist make a difference like this in a year's time? Nobody can do it. Or any corporate sector can do it. No. So entire regions, what she was just mentioning, relief, challenges which the recent agitation brought about, these are huge challenges. And you have huge authority. Yesterday I was in Surat and the collector was telling me that, he put recognition army, the commanding officer of army, much more senior in age and everything, collected DM and recognition army, crisis situation on his own. So these kind of authorities, powers, responsibilities, the punch which it gives you is tremendous. This is phenomenal. Other than that, I would say that the job variety which this offers, the civil services offer, there's nothing else it can offer you that. Even the most glamorous professions, even if you're an actor, probably I would say the RJ here, very glamorous profession. But maybe after 20 years, he's doing the same thing. He will start thinking, after 20 years, you keep doing the same thing. You're a pilot, you're an actor, doing the same thing. It gets boring over a period of time, even if it is very glamorous. This is one job which gives you variety every 2-3 years. And everywhere you go, you create a new challenge for yourselves and achieve it. I was in tourism, I was in tribal development, I was in the Kandla Port Trust, for 5 years in Kutch. So from Port Trust to tribal development, to finance, to education, and tourism, you can see the spectrum of variety which it gives you. And wherever you go, you start at the top. Government will just put you from there and place you at top of an organization, suddenly like that. And then you have to learn to swim yourselves, which is again a huge challenge. So that is why governments want the best of the best to come into services. And that is why 6.5 lakh માંથી આ select થાય છે 1,000 જેટલા finally in various premier services. So I would like to tell you that be part of these 1,000 So angels of variety, and that is why when the collector comes, even a great big businessman, here or entrepreneur here, will get up and she's much younger, but he would respect her because it is the position of the collector. If she was working in Tata Consultancy Service with 10 years of seniority, she would be sitting outside and he would be not even probably calling her inside at that person, at that level. Because she is the district collector, because an IAS officer is there, and the respectability which these posts have is tremendous. Lastly, you can do a lot for the poor and for the system. આપણને ઘણી વખત એવું થાય છે કે આ કેમ આવું થાય છે? લેટરિન ચાલતી નથી, કચરો કેમ સાફ કરતી નથી નગરપાલિકા, અથવા પોલીસ કેમ કામ કરતી નથી, કેમ કરપ્શન છે? Whatever, as a student you get a lot of ideas, a lot of frustration. Everybody gets it. We also used to get it as students. Everybody gets it. So there are 2-3 alternatives about either you become a silent spectator and just keep creeping about it all the time, or you become part of that system, somehow maneuver your way through, as most of the businessmen do it, or you become an NGO and fight it out, or you become a journalist, write about it, or you become part of the system and change it yourself in your own hands. And that is the best and the most satisfying thing. So suppose તમારામાંથી કોઈ ગામથી કે તાલુકાથી આવેલા હોય અહીંયા, ઇન્ટિરિયર વિસ્તારમાંથી અમરેલીના છોકરા હોય અહીંયા, અને એમ થતું હોય કે મારે આઈએસ થવું છે. Imagine once he becomes the director of his own district or adjoining district, what he can do for those things which he had dreamt of. So these great opportunities the service offers to you. So I would expect that each one of you will fill this application form and be part of this efforts of the government. Because when we met the Prime Minister, he was happy to do it, and being so busy, he gave us almost half an hour. India's Prime Minister gave half an hour to these 20 kids who made it, 20 students, aspirants who made it civil services this year. And he was very satisfied, and he expects more. So આપણે એવી ધારણા છે કે બીજા રાજ્યોમાં, યુપીમાં, બિહારમાં, રાજસ્થાનમાં ઘણા લોકો આજે તબક્કે સિલેક્ટ થાય છે. આપણે અહીંયા વધારે સારી સગવડ છે, ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ સારા છે, ફેકલ્ટી સારી છે, બધી સગવડ, ઇન્ટરનેટ, લાઇબ્રેરી, ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર, ઇકોનોમિક સગવડ, બધી રીતે બીજા રાજ્યો કરતા આપણે બહુ આગળ છે. તો સિવિલ સર્વિસીસમાં કેમ પાછળ છીએ આપણે? Why can't we dominate India's bureaucracy as Gujaratis? So that is our aim. I expect that in years to come, almost 50% of entire cadre in any state in the country should be constituted by Gujaratis, and that is the aim which SPIPA has. So with these words, I would like to again thank the institute here, wonderful campus. I'm very, very impressed to see and listen to the people here about the campus and everything. It's a tremendous institute, and I want that our institute બહાર લિસ્ટ લાગેલી છે ટોપર્સની, એમાં બીજા બોર્ડ ઉમેરવામાં આવે, સિવિલ સર્વિસીસ ટોપર્સ ફ્રોમ ધીસ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ, અને એમાં નામ I again thank all of you and express my best wishes. Thank you very much. I would like to tell you that this is the biggest bluff played by media.
No, sir. In the recent past, E.S. Ravi from the Bangalore, he was murdered because he was conducting raids over 20 corporate sectors, and still the CBID or CBI investigation is going on. Nothing result has come out.
I can tell you, you see, what happens is that a lot of places in the film, they show a lot of stuff which is not true at all. Even in the bad, in the so-called difficult states, we have a lot of liberty and autonomy in working, which is, and nobody misbehaves like that. What he got killed in, what people get in accidents and all, every service, doctors can, also get killed, or entrepreneurs also face these kind of things. These are all aberrations. Any service can have it.
Doing his work very rightly and successfully. That is, he has conducted almost 20 raids in the corporate sector. They were evading tax amount, and then suddenly he is murdered in a.
I don't know about a particular. I would not like to mention about a particular case because it is under investigation. But speaking Generally, in the movies they show a lot of stuff. In media they write a lot of stuff about it. Such things do not happen really. They are not rampant even in states like UP and Bihar. What happens is that you get transferred to the post, but that's fine. You get transferred, go to the new place and create your mark there.
So there were also you get IS officer working good in specific area is transferred to the lesser known area.
Yeah, so you make that better, no? Let me tell you what, when I joined tourism, the budget of tourism was 60 crores. When I left in 5 years, it was 600 crores. When I joined SPIPA, after that, budget of SPIPA was 12 crores. Within 8 months, the budget is 140 crores. It's up to you. And that's the real challenge. And that is why the cream is required.
And you're talking about the financial...
No, we can do a lot. We are making it in all the districts. You create, it's your own mind, and you can do if you want to do it. There is no post which is site posting. So first of all, you should be clear about it. This is the biggest myth. Because as an IS officer, if you are a collector level officer, they'll give you a posting which is equivalent to the collector. They can't make you talati. Right? That's clear. Number 2, job security is immense. You have constitutional security of job. So no politician can throw you out of job. And the process is followed, and there are a lot of processes involved in the entire thing. So there is a huge job security. If you are doing the right thing, and if you are getting transferred, there are some people and bureaucrats who like, a lot of media attention, keep tweeting about it because they want publicity. So do not make up your mind talking about such people. There are people in every state like that. There's a fellow in Haryana who keeps getting transferred and keep reading about people like that. That's not an issue. So what the real challenge is, whatever position is given to you, you create your space there, make a mark there, and that is what we want. And that is why the exam is so focused. We don't want PhD scholars, we don't want technocrats, right? We want bureaucrats who can take decisions, who can make a difference, and who can deliver, and make a mark for the people. That's the whole thing.